Welcome to Rome, where politics gets stabby. Imagine a reality show where politicians settle debates not with speeches but swords. Welcome to ancient Rome. Okay, maybe not always swords, but let's just say things got heated. We're talking 3 major civil wars, back-to-back power struggles that reshaped Rome from a republic to an empire. Buckle up, because Roman history is about to get juicy. These weren't just your average squabbles over taxes. These were full-blown, knockdown, drag-out brawls with legendary figures like Julius Caesar, Mark Antony, and Augustus. Think Game of Thrones, but with togas and better haircuts. Well, mostly. We're talking betrayals, alliances, and enough drama to make your average soap opera look tame. So grab your gladius, that's a Roman sword, you know, and get ready to dive into the thrilling, tragic, and sometimes downright unbelievable world of Rome's civil wars. Round 1, Marius versus Sulla, old generals, new tricks. Our first showdown features 2 military big shots, Gaius Marius and Lucius Cornelius Sulla. They were both successful generals, but their rivalry was legendary. Marius, a new man from outside the traditional Roman aristocracy, shook things up by letting regular citizens join the army. This made him popular with the people, but ticked off the old guard, especially Sulla. Sulla, a proud patrician, thought Marius was getting too big for his britches. Then came the war against Mithridates in the east. Sulla was appointed to lead it, but Marius used his political clout to get the command for himself. Sulla was furious. He marched his army on Rome, something unheard of at the time. This was the start of a bloody civil war. Sulla eventually won and became dictator, unleashing a reign of terror against his enemies. He reformed the Roman constitution, strengthening the Senate and weakening popular assemblies. But his victory was short-lived. Sulla retired and died soon after, leaving Rome to face the consequences of his actions. Round 2, Caesar versus Pompey, friends turned frenemies. Fast forward a few decades and we meet our next contenders, Julius Caesar and Gnaeus Pompeius Magnus, Pompey the Great, if you want to be formal. They started as allies, even forming a powerful triumvirate with Marcus Licinius Crassus, a wealthy Roman. But ambition and mistrust soon tore them apart. Caesar's growing power and popularity in Gaul made Pompey nervous. The Senate, influenced by Pompey, ordered Caesar to disband his army and return to Rome. Caesar refused. Instead, Caesar famously crossed the Rubicon River in 49 BC, declaring war on Rome. This was a bold move, and it plunged the Republic into another civil war. Caesar's legions proved unstoppable. He defeated Pompey at the Battle of Pharsalus in 48 BC, effectively ending the war. Pompey fled to Egypt, where he was assassinated. Caesar became dictator for life, implementing reforms and consolidating his power. But his assassination on the Ides of March 15, 44 BC, by a group of senators proved that even the most powerful man in Rome could be brought down. Section 4, Round 3, Antony versus Octavian, love, war, and an empire's rise. Caesar's assassination set the stage for the final and most significant civil war. The contenders were Mark Antony, Caesar's loyal general and lover, and Octavian, Caesar's grandnephew and adopted heir. Antony initially allied with Marcus Aemilius Lepidus, another general, to form the Second Triumvirate. They hunted down Caesar's assassins and divided control of the Roman world. But tensions simmered between Antony and Octavian. Their rivalry hit a boiling point when Antony, smitten with the Egyptian queen Cleopatra, abandoned his Roman wife, who was Octavian's sister. Octavian used this to his advantage, painting Antony as a traitor seduced by a foreign queen. The final showdown came at the Battle of Actium in 31 BC. Octavian's navy, led by the skilled Admiral Agrippa, crushed the combined forces of Antony and Cleopatra. The defeated couple fled back to Egypt, where they both committed suicide. Section 5. The aftermath. From Republic to Empire. Thanks, Civil War. These 3 civil wars weren't just isolated events, they were transformative. They marked the bloody end of the Roman Republic and paved the way for the Roman Empire. The constant fighting had weakened the Republic's institutions. The Senate, once the symbol of Roman power, was now sidelined. People were tired of war and chaos. They longed for stability and strong leadership. Octavian, now the sole ruler of Rome, provided that stability. He cleverly repackaged himself as Augustus, the revered one, and ushered in a new era of peace and prosperity. The Roman Empire was born, built on the ashes of the Republic, and the ambitions of men who had waged war on each other. So the next time you hear someone complaining about political gridlock, just be glad they're not settling their differences with swords and legions.